Mko fiti, manze nimewahata. Oh, manze miss. Welcome to Cele's Reflection, another episode. It's another Wednesday, so we must have Cele's Reflection on Wednesday at 11 a.m. And guys, I'm back. Back with someone who you loved. The last time he was here, you guys, comments zilikuwa tu, please bring him back. What a candid conversation. This man is very wise. Anatuambia ukweli yenye hatutaki kuambiwa. Yani, the comments were so quite a number. It was around 3 months ago. So 3 months later, we have him back. And I'm hopeful, pia leo, mtamtaka tena. Yeah, so welcome, Mr. Mamati.
Thank you.
Karibu sana.
I'm happy to be back.
Watu walikuitisha?
Yes.
People were saying those conversations are very that conversation was very candid. Mm-hmm. Like, you are so bold, you are calling a spade a spade.
I hope that the candidness of the conversation, they also decided or accepted the conversation to change them in one way or another, and also now to what is positive, because that's the goodness of this program.
Exactly.
You listen, you get in the information, you work on it for your own good.
Yes. And that time we were talking about levels of friendship.
Exactly.
So today I want us to talk about how to resolve conflict. Mm-hmm. How do we resolve conflict resolution?
Okay.
Because umesikia of late venye watu wanafanya, there are so many cases. Oh, violence in marriages. Unajua watu fikiria tu ni in dating and whatnot.
Exactly.
The husband is beating the wife is beating the husband, both ways. So how do we, like, ways that we can resolve conflict?
Let me start by saying that, first of all, you have to understand a conflict is a disagreement or an argument between two people.
Yes.
And they can be husband and wife. They can be maybe a boyfriend and a girlfriend, or even people of the same gender can also have conflict.
Yes.
But now looking at the conflict you are asking about, this conflict between two people of different gender, let me say maybe a husband and wife or a boyfriend and a girlfriend. You have to understand that where there is any conversation, even if the conversation is flowing, conversations will never flow throughout. At one point or another, you'll find that there is a disagreement. But now, how far you take the disagreement is what now turns into a conflict. Yeah. For example, you can converse with somebody over a particular subject or over a particular topic. But how the person answers back, how you receive the feedback, the reaction is what causes the conflict. For example, somebody can come in the house, maybe a husband. You have cooked food very well, a very delicious meal. But the only thing is that you forgot to put salt. When the person or this man tastes the food, he realizes that you didn't put salt. How do you react on that? The person may start by saying, does it mean you don't know how to cook? Now you see, the way he reacts, and now the wife will answer back. Does it mean you have somebody else who is cooking for you? That's why you are saying, I don't know how to cook. Now, you see, the way you answer those two questions, that one question, that one statement, the way you answer, now that's what will bring in the reaction. Now, the reaction is what causes the conflict. For example, if I say, does it mean you don't know how to cook? The food itself is good. The meal is very okay. I only forgot to put salt. But from there now, when I say it's because you have eaten somewhere, or does it mean there's somebody that you are used to her food, that's why you don't like mine? Now that one means, the other one thinks, are you saying that I'm seeing someone?
Okay, already there's a conflict.
Now from there, a conflict starts from that very point. So how far you take an argument is what causes the conflict.
What would you suggest this person would have asked when there is no salt in the food? Ebu, rephrase that question.
Let me say, for example, you have a very delicious meal. First of all, appreciate that you have come home and there is a meal and somebody has offered herself to prepare for you a meal. So when you go to take that meal, appreciate the meal, leave alone with the negatives. Because if there's no salt, you can ask for a salt shaker.
Oh, yeah.
Then you take the salt, put it into the meal to your level, then start moving on.
And there's no conflict.
And there's no conflict. You have done it. So also look for what is the solution of what could be bringing the conflict. The solution could be, I need to take a step. The step you are taking should be a positive step. Get a salt shaker, put salt, that problem is solved. You have done it. So the way you respond, decide to respond in a positive way. I don't want to cause more harm. I don't want to cause more problems. I don't want maybe to destroy the harmony or the environment that is there. So always look for a positive way to do something so that you get the right answer or the positive expectations.
But
yes.
Sorry. Does it mean now when I ask when you don't know how to cook, then I tell you when there's someone else who's cooking for you?
Yes.
Does that mean there was something else? Because why answer kwani is there someone who was? Does it mean kuna problem ingine? Si chumvi?
You know, that answer means that this is a couple or this is a marriage where people are living with underlying problems that they have not solved.
Yes.
So what that problem waits is to wait for the opportunity to explode. And now the opportunity has come when the meal has no salt. Now I'm finding an opportunity also to express myself. When you say, I will also say. There are those people who don't keep quiet. When you speak, I also speak. But to resolve that as a woman, you can, or as a wife, you can decide to keep quiet. And as I have said, as a man, you can decide to look for a salt shaker. That one now means you have solved the problem. So one way of solving a problem, one, is called avoidance. Avoidance means I decide to ignore that there is anything to cause conflict. Maybe somebody has said something. If I decide to keep quiet, or maybe says there's no salt, I go to pick the salt shaker and bring to him. I'll have decided to assume, should this one cause a problem? Should this one be the reason to why one should get angry? If you assume it that way, then there is no problem. But in most cases, you find that somebody is not ready to avoid. Avoiding is keeping quiet. I have heard it, but I'm not going to answer back. I have heard what you have said. I know what you have said is affecting me, but I have decided to remain silent.
We say, in where I was brought up, we say,
yes,
namuona venye anakuja huyu, wacha nimuondoke.
Exactly. So kumuondokea is also one way of now resolving that conflict.
Okay.
Because ukisha muondokea, or maybe he speaks some words, you keep quiet, you don't answer back. Then you cool the fire down. Because one firewood alone cannot light the fire unless you add the firewood. Okay. So the more you continue adding the firewood, the more you make the fire even to light more. So you decide, let it remain with one firewood, we see if it will continue lighting. Definitely, it will go off.
True.
Another point is that apart from just avoiding the issue, there's this issue of competing. Competing now means in an argument, there is always, you can understand your partner. If your partner is a winning type, when there is any argument, he or she will make sure he or she wins the argument. Even if she's on the wrong, he will make sure he turns around. This is somebody who makes a mistake and then turns the mistake around and it appears as if it is you. It's him who wronged you, or it is her who wronged you, but he makes it to appear as if it is you who wronged the person. And at the end of it, you find yourself apologizing.
Yeah.
And yet, he's the one who caused everything. The winning type. Those people who don't surrender. Those people who don't say, let's keep quiet about this. Or those people who don't quickly say, I apologize. You know, sometimes if you just say, I'm sorry about it, then you cool down the conflict. But if you say, I must win this one, you are winning it over who? This is your husband. This is your wife. This is your boyfriend. This is your girlfriend. Even if you win an argument, what will it benefit you? You win an argument and you lose a partner. You win an argument, you lose a boyfriend. You win an argument, you lose a marriage. You win an argument, you lose the friendship. How will it benefit you? So if you are a winning type, you also need to look at yourself. Whenever there's a conflict, which side do you always stand? Do you come up and analyze the problem, analyze yourself and say, I have come to a conclusion, or I have come to understand that it is me who started it. It is me who caused the problem. It's me who didn't understand. Because sometimes the reason why people argue is because somebody said something, you didn't get it well, but you decided to answer back. So you answered a question that you didn't understand. You didn't understand in the first place. So why should you answer something that you didn't understand? For example, a man has spoken something. A man has said something, just a passing word. If you don't understand something in a marriage, if there is any communication you haven't understood, if there's any communication you haven't gotten right, you are not supposed to answer back. Always ask, what did you say? Or I beg your pardon, please. Can you repeat it again? I didn't get it clearly. So that the person can repeat it clearly to your understanding. And if you reach a point you don't understand what he said, maybe he said it in a certain proverb, and you didn't get it right. You see, for example, if somebody says, even wolves have ears, and you didn't understand what he said, what do you mean by wolves have ears? Then you need to get the explanation. What do you mean by that? So that you don't misinterpret. Most conflicts happen because people misinterpret conversations. People misinterpret statements. That misinterpretation is what makes the other person think, oh, I thought you said this. That's why later on when people come to reconcile, you find the other one saying, you know, when you said this, I thought you meant this. When you said that, I concluded it that way. At the end of it, you find it's not that it was time for them to have a conflict, but the misinterpretation, answering questions without understanding the statement, or assuming that's what the person wanted to say. So which means also, when somebody wanted to say something or to pass a message, never assume a message. When I looked at you, I thought you didn't want me because you are frowning. That's just,
My face.
That's my face. Looking at my face, how could you conclude that my face alone was saying, I don't want you? You would have asked me, why was I frowning? I could have explained it to you in a clear language for you to understand. Maybe on my way here, there's something that happened. So you are not supposed to quickly conclude that because of my frowning, I don't want you. So that misinterpretation is what also causes the conflict. Another area for conflict resolution is when we talk about compromising. To compromise, it means, yes, you have set standards to a certain level, even in relationships.
Oh, yes.
Even in relationships, you find a lady saying, I want a tall, 6 feet, black,
My birthday,
American
I want a
height.
gift. My Valentine's, I want something.
Yes.
Our anniversary, I want something.
Yes. But it reaches a point where someone now accepts or decides to compromise. You compromise because of the situation at the moment. For example, let's talk about people are celebrating Valentine's. You are celebrating it, but you expected something. I expected a gift from you. But you realize this person has bought a gift. And he's there, he's your husband. And buying a gift or not buying will not stop him from being your husband or being your wife. So you decide you compromise. Even if I have not received it this time, I know next time I will receive a gift. After all, the other years I have been receiving. So it's only this year that has got some change, and there is an explanation to why. So compromising is also one way of solving conflict or resolving the conflict. You decide, I'm going to reduce myself to a certain level, or I'm going to, even if I have set standards, I'm going to compromise some for the goodness of my marriage.
You find you can find there's a person in a relationship,
yes,
who is always the one compromising. Always. Is that okay?
In a relationship where only one person compromises, it means the other person is not taking good care of the other. Because it should not be that always I should be the one compromising. Because compromising, I'm doing it so that we make our marriage. I'm doing it so that we build our relationship. It should be a two-way. Today it is me, tomorrow it is you. And I should be explaining in advance so that you don't reach at that point and expect me to compromise. Because compromising does not mean I'm weak. Compromising does not mean I cannot react. Compromising does not mean I'm a lesser person or a lesser partner. It means that for the sake of what we want to build, I will compromise. For the sake of the journey we are walking, I will compromise. For the sake of building our dream, I will compromise. Because he is my husband, I love him more than this problem. I'm going to compromise. But it should not be like one person alone, every day that person, every day that person. Then this person definitely will reach a point and tire. And when he tires up, you'll find that he might decide to rebel. And when he rebels, he might rebel even what he compromised before. Now he rebels over everything. He doesn't compromise anymore.
Yeah. You get tired of compromising.
Yes.
But somehow it helps solve the conflict.
It helps to solve the conflict. Then finally, there's what we call collaboration. With collaboration, it means we have a problem or we have a conflict, but we agree to work together. How do we work it out? We team up over that problem. We team up and say, this is your part, Celestine, to play. Then me as Mama, this is my part to play. Play your part, I play mine. We collaborate together. Bring in your effort. I bring in my effort. We put together, we merge. When we merge, we shall be able to defeat the problem. So that merging together, that coming together, that holding together, that accepting to walk together or walk the talk now helps to solve the problem. Because instead of now staying and saying, it is you who should work on it. It is you, it is your problem. You are the wife. You are the man of the house. No, sometimes saying you are the man of the house does not solve a problem. You are the wife does not solve a problem. If I'm the one supposed to do it, but remember you are my husband. How are you going to help me so that even if I'm the man of the house, but you help me to achieve as a man of the house? If I'm the woman of the house, how are you going to perform or what are you going to do so that you help me as the wife of the woman of the house to achieve? Because we are here to hold one another, to carry, to work together. I need you, you need me. We work together. That's what we call collaboration.
What about you say we collaborate. So
Yes.
you're ready to help. Me, I'll just say I'm ready. I won't cooperate.
Yes.
Because people I can say I'm going to help, then I won't do it. Actions. The actions are not there. The mind is there. The body is willing.
Yes.
Then somehow you end up doing it on your own.
What particularly the married people or the people in relationship, they have to understand this. A relationship or a marriage is never theory. Marriage is practical.
Yes.
When you enter into marriage, you can say a lot of words outside, how I love you, how my honey, my whatever. But when you enter into marriage, everything is practical. Even bringing up children, making somebody pregnant is practical. It's not theory.
Yes.
You have to understand. So you have to work it out. You have to do it. When I say I'm going to participate, I have to participate fully and I have to show by actions. My actions should speak louder than my words. It's not about, when you are promising somebody before you enter into marriage, you can do a lot of promises, yes. But when we come into marriage, we don't again base on promises. Now marriage is where you fulfill the promises you made. You told me this is how things will be working. Now, I don't want more promises again. I want us to work together now, what we promised each other. That's why most people can promise a lot of things during the courtship, during the relationship, but when it comes now to performing it, that's when you realize a person saying, I think I made a mistake somewhere. You find somebody starting, so I think he has changed. Or I don't see him as the same person I saw. It's because during the courtship or during the friendship, the promises were too many. He could promise every day, I'll be buying you chocolates every time. Every birthday, I'll be giving you a hug. Every birthday, I'll buy you gifts. But now, the time has come. Those things are the ones that made me see you to be different from other men. Because even when you enter into a relationship or you enter into marriage, no woman is seduced by one man. You find that there are quite a number of men who are eyeing this woman. But because of what you promise and because of how he sees you and he feels that, yes, you'll fulfill, that's why he decides to do elimination method. He eliminates others to take you. But now when this woman has taken you to a point now she's in your house, and then you can't even fulfill one thing out of what you promised. Now you start heartbreaking her. And because of that, now you realize things now, conflict start from that point. Every time an argument arises. There are people, every birthday, there is an argument. Every time they think about every end month, there is an argument.
True.
Every Christmas time, there is an argument. Every festive, they must have an argument because the promises that were made during that time are not being worked on. And that's why it brings conflict.
So for such cases, the only resolution they can have is a divorce.
Divorce is never a resolution because it's a bitter one.
It is bitter.
Eh-heh.
But you see, you're saying every time, every year, it's
Yes.
like a circle. They are always arguing. So even if they decide to collaborate,
Yes.
it's not possible.
Eh-heh.
Even if one person decides to compromise, it's like next to impossible. So it seems they're left with only...
Not divorce alone.
Okay.
Now, what comes in is that the person who promised is the one that we call the promise breaker. You promised, yes. Why are you not doing it? And if it is you who promised and you are not doing it, now you have to come out clearly. Explain yourself. I know I promised, yes. I know I said in the first 1 year, I'll buy you a car. But are you not happy that we have a motorbike? Are you getting,
Yeah.
are you getting the
Yeah.
point? Are you not happy that, even if I promised a car, but are you not happy that today you have a plot?
So I'll see there's effort.
Yes, there's effort. So he has to make sure that he explains to you to see the effort. Yes, your mind was on the car. Your mind was on the house. But he's trying to explain to you, can't you see I have bought some land? We shall go. Can't you recognize that? So the one who promised should always come back and start breaking the promises into smaller pieces. You had big promises, yes, but now start breaking them into smaller pieces. The smaller pieces will be, but remember I bought you sandals last time. Even if I had promised shoes, but I brought you what? Sandals.
And I'm sure as the lady, I'll feel there's effort.
There is effort. You know, a lady will not have a problem if there is effort as little.
Yes, exactly.
It doesn't matter however little the effort will be. A lady will always appreciate the effort. Because what hurts a lady is when the family is not moving. When you are just going round into circles. He doesn't see anything. Last year you said, this year we are here. The other year you promised, we didn't go anywhere. I haven't seen any efforts. You only keep on promising. So she gets tired of promises. And when a lady gets tired of promises, now you can't promise anymore. She waits for actions. So the little effort has to be appreciated. And also you have to realize that men initiate, women reciprocate.
Men initiate,
Yes.
women reciprocate.
Yes. To reciprocate means you start, then I come in.
True.
A man starts, then the woman comes in.
Yeah.
So when a man is starting, as a man always work on starting. Yes, I have started it. I have gone first step. The woman will automatically come in. That's why he will keep on asking. The woman will keep on asking you, what are we doing this year? What plan do you have? It doesn't mean that a woman is not thinking of anything or a wife does not have anything in her mind. It's just that she has plans, but she doesn't want to offend you because you are the head of the house. You are the head of the home. That's why she keeps coming back. What are we doing this year? Even in the house when she's about to prepare meals, you will see everything is there, but your wife comes to ask you, Baba Nani, what are you going to eat today? Today. It's not that she doesn't know what to cook. It's not that there are no meals in the fridge or in the house. But she wants you to initiate the meal, the menu. What should we cook today? And if you are asked such a question, stop saying you are a mature person. You know what to cook. Please don't answer such kind of things. If you are a man, you are asked by your woman, what should we cook today? A woman will be very happy when she's in the kitchen cooking what her husband initiated, what her husband suggested or proposed. That's the menu that will keep a woman singing while cooking all types of good songs. But if you are just there, you don't do it, you don't say anything, every time you'll find her starting to sing. Dunia, dunia, tutaiacha, dunia, as she sharpens the knife. Because she feels now, if I'm not accepted here, now where else will I be accepted?
True.
And that's why she starts to close up.
So naturally, men initiate. Naturally,
men are initiators.
So there's a problem if you have a man who cannot initiate.
There is a
because
very big
they are
problem.
there.
Exactly.
So you're expecting Baba Nani to tell us what are we going to do. Baba Nani is just like hata message.
And that's why, if you realize you are not initiating, your wife will have somebody to start initiating. And that's why she will go back to her father, starting to ask daddy, why tufanye nini huku kwetu? Anarudi kwa baba ya?
Okay.
Aya, if you are not there, utakuta kona brother wako hivi.
Makes a lot of sense.
You get my point? Utakuta kona brother wameshikana hivi. Kwa sababu, you as a man, you have missed the point. You are not doing what is supposed to be done. But if you will be there always to initiate, then you start working. Every time somebody asks, can you come, we do this? No, the woman will say, no. My husband said, we are going to do this. My husband already has a plan. My husband already has a project. My husband already has said this. Because you have initiated. Because there's the initiating of a thing, the woman will just back up to see that it succeeds. They will listen to why you find a lady going around like she doesn't have the stability. It's like she doesn't understand her family. It's because the man has failed. The man is not doing it. That's why you'll find today, she's with the uncle. Tomorrow, she's with the brother. The other day, she goes back to the father. The other day, she finds her neighbor. The other neighbor. Anaanza kuuliza mume wa hiyo jirani mwingine. Mimi nataka kufanya hivi. Because you are not there. That's why men should understand this from the word go. Always work out plans and present them. And when the plans are presented, because you have initiated, allow a meeting to take place. And in that meeting, there are points you will remove from the list. There are others that you will work on. And because women are so sharp, and women are so quick, they can feel a project that will succeed and that one that will fail. And if you continue saying, I'm the man, it must happen. The day it will fail, she will be looking at you and saying, I'm very sorry. But she looks aside and says, but then she comes to tell you, that's who they are. Because they can quickly sense which project will go through and which one will not go through. That's why even it comes to the issues of politics. You find somebody who went to politics and failed. Go back and ask what the wife said. The wife could have said, please, you can do it, but I'm seeing this time support somebody. Then you say, I'm not going to support somebody. I must go myself.
Then
you
fails.
Go, you fail, you come back. That's why you try to talk to her, and then she sings, she says, oh, I'm very sorry, Papa Nani, I'm very sorry. But when she goes to the other side, she smiles. Whenever I say, this man doesn't listen, let him drink his own cup. Because of that. So those are some of the things that contribute.
I can attest to the last one. Like I never knew about initiating, but I can, especially where you've said they go back to their fathers. Unapata amenunua shamba mahali fulani juu baba yake. Kwanza amenunua kwao. Baba yake alimuonesha hii. Juu yeye anaona hii.
Yes.
So then there's some sort of disagreement because it feels like you're still going back to your home.
Yes.
Unarudi bado kwa watu wenu, but she's looking for someone to initiate something so that she can nurture it.
When you fail to initiate, the wife will always go back to the people she has been raised up with. And the closest people are her people. Her father, brothers, and uncles. That's why you'll find she has gone back, she's buying land without your knowledge, with the brother or with the father. She just says, my father found land, because she has kept on saying, when are we going to buy our plot? You acquired. When are we going to do this? We are buying. Why can't we one day go and look for, people are going just to to do, what do we call? They go and walk around with these companies, the agents, they see the plots. When are we going to go even just for a walk, we see one? Every time you say you are busy, every time you say I'm not available, every time you say those companies are con. But you are not offering a solution.
Yes.
You are saying they are con, they will do what? But the question is, after you have said that, give us the solution. What's the way forward? Because always the wife will want to see the way forward. When there is the way forward, a wife will keep quiet. That's why you will find even somebody's girl will not have a problem to get married to you because you don't have a house. Somebody's girl will not get a problem to get married to you because you don't have a bed. Because she knows this guy has no bed today, but has the ability to buy a bed tomorrow. This guy has no house today, but has an ability to build a house tomorrow. So if the wife of the woman is seeing future in you, she can't run away. What blinds a woman is when she doesn't see anything. You don't initiate anything. You don't say anything. You don't contribute anything. You are just there.
Now that we have those men, and maybe they are watching this, what can you tell them? Because from a woman's point of view,
yes,
it feels bad. It feels bad.
Exactly.
Especially ukiona tuko na watoto, tunakaa tu. Like, huyu mtu sioni ni kama anafikiria future. Sioni, there you are saying, hata kwenda, if these companies are cons, then get us one that is not, one that is legit.
It's legit, the one that's genuine.
Show us some green light.
Exactly.
What can you tell that man out there? Just speak. I'm speaking on behalf of that woman who feels like Baba Nani is not doing something.
Yes.
What can you tell that man?
What you need to understand is that women know how to keep records. They know how to keep records from the word go. From the day you started seducing this woman, she started keeping records. Ask her, why did you get married to me? She will say, I saw you as a person with a vision. She will remind you. Ask, why do you say that? She will tell you, you remember there is a day we went to a certain hotel and you talked to me and you said, when we get married, first of all, we shall start by buying land. After we buy land, we shall build a house. After that, we shall have 2 kids. Now we have 6. How come you didn't keep the promise? The wife will remind you because they have very good record. They know how to record details. Why are you saying that I'm not doing anything? The wife or the woman will remind you. Remember you said, the first year in marriage, we shall do this. Where did that idea go? Remember you said, after we get married, we were to do this and that. How come there's nothing you are working out? Because sometimes we men, you can forget what you promised. And you can easily forget what you said. But when you find somebody to remind you, now you get to understand, okay, and you mean out of all those promises I've done nothing? And then I'm also a poor man. Then from there you start working. So she will remind you, get her to remind you the things you said and did not fulfill. Because even when it comes to conflict, a man can speak words. A lady who heard those words will never forget them. And if you have forgotten, ask her to remind you. She will tell you, you told me I'm a fool. You told me I don't know how to dress. You told me you regret marrying me. You told me, in fact, I was not the only girl you are befriending. She will remind you all those things that you spoke. Women speak, then forget, then you go. But women, keep a record of everything. The moment you trigger, the moment you touch, she will produce everything to tell you this is how you hurt me, this is how you did it. So ask your wife, always, they have a lot of records. Women go around, and that's why you'll find them starting to say, Sukwe kama Baba Nani, although we don't like that. But ukweli ni kwamba, the reason why a wife will start telling you Sukwe kama Baba Nani is because anaona kwa kina Baba Nani kuna songa. Lakini huku kwetu kumedumaa. Hakuna mahali tunasonga. Si uende umuuliza ideas. That's why she will tell you one day if you don't have money, si uende ulize Baba Nani, anaweza kusaidia na pesa. Na wewe nawe ukisikia hivyo na siku hizo mmeanza kuongea. So wewe ndo unaniambia wanaume wale naenda kuomba pesa. But you know there are women. When you are not there, women will meet. Ataingia kwa nyumba ya mwingine aangalie, aone viti, aone sofa, aone ashakimbia kitchen, ameona fridge iko kule, anaangalia kule, anaangalia vitu wameweka. Akitoka huko anakuja kusema what she saw. You know, women are so genuine. They speak things as they see them. Nilienda kule nikaona wako na kuka mzuri sana. Na huku kwetu tunapepeta makaa. Sasa lazima I will speak something. That is it.
That's true. And you'll see how she's very intentional in changing her home space.
Exactly.
Wakae vizuri kwa kina nani niliona kuna hii meza. Si wivu,
Yes.
ni kutaka kuimprove kwako kukae vizuri.
A woman will want to see her family better, even more than a man. A woman will want her children to eat good food,
Yeah.
to live at a nice place,
Go good schools.
go to good schools. That's why she will keep saying, where are we going to take our children? A woman is happy when she sees the husband is okay, is handsome, is groomed. That's why she keeps telling you, why can't you shave these beards? Every time she reminds you about them. But because you don't want to be corrected, okay, so you see that you don't want the beards. Now you start bringing in somebody else. Who have you seen that doesn't have beard? That's why you are telling me I remove the beards. But she's saying it out of her
Love.
good heart, out of the love. Baba nani badilisha hii shati. This trouser baba nani acha tuoshe. To a level she tells you uondoe zile ziko kwa mwili aoshe. Lakini wewe umekataa, unavaa, unatoka
nazo.
Unatoka nazo. But she wants to see the family doing very well. That's the heart of a woman.
And the heart of a woman is so, like, we're just ready to see things bloom.
Yes.
Things, your family looking okay. We don't want, hakuna mwenye anataka familia yake iende vibaya.
Exactly.
So we are all doing these things out of love, as you've said.
Out of love, as I
Lakini
have
nyinyi
said.
mkiambiwa
Yes.
toa hii shati, unashindwa sana nakwambia nitoa hii shati nivae gari na
Umeanza
niyangu.
kuniona mchafu. But you see, ndio hii shati baba nani hii shati. Unajua with us men unaweza tumia shati moja wiki moja. Like stui. Unavaa tu unakuta unarudia tu the same shirt, unatoka nayo. Mpaka the wife asks you, kwani usikii hiyo shati inanuka jasho mahali? Unasema wewe achana na shati. Shati yako. So they are like that. But you see with a lady, hawezi rudia nguo alivaa jana. Itamsumbua kabisa. Hata aache kuvaa jana, hata akivaa nguo aende kwa street akute mwingine ako nayo exact. Anaweza tamani arudi nyumbani atoe hiyo nguo. Kwa sababu si kwa ya uniform. So anaweza tamani. So you see, that's how they are and that's how they are brought up.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
So is there a level of conflict that cannot be resolved?
A level of conflict that cannot be resolved when you find people who loved each other so much starting to threaten the destruction of each other. For example, a person who loved you, now there's no love in between you, he's starting to say, I can kill you.
No, that's...
Yeah, now that one now means the coin has turned. So you can't keep quiet. Because the same mouth that used to tell me, I love you, sweetheart, all those kind of words, honey. But the same mouth now today has turned, it's starting to ask you, what are you doing here? When I look at you, I feel like strangling you. When you start hearing such kind of statements, you need quickly to know the heart has changed. And if the heart has changed, you cannot force yourself to be in that place. And that's why we allow people, if you realize something like that, somebody starting to say, one day your father will come here and find you in pieces. One day I will put you in a sack of maize. One day people will come wandering. One day, hey, you will not believe what I'll do. If you start hearing such kind of statements, it's your time to walk out. It's your time to leave that platform and go somewhere else where your life can be more secure. Yes.
Wow. I love that one. I think that can be our ending. That is really nice. Because at that level, you don't want to sit and wait for what you've been told.
Yeah. Don't sit and wait. Don't start saying, do it, I see.
Nitamuombea. Ama nitaomba.
Don't do such kind of things. When prayer is not working, because there are times prayer doesn't work.
Yeah.
You have to understand that. There are times prayer doesn't work because the enemy has come too much beyond your prayer. There are times just you need a break. I'm not saying that prayer will not work always, but there are times you just realize this man has decided to allow the body to lead him more than the spirit. You know, prayer works where spirit is working together. But if someone is being led by the spirit, the other one is being led by the body, you can't work. Even if you pray after prayer, you are hit by him. He slaps you. You are in tongues, he slaps you, he pulls you out. This one, the body is working, but you, the spirit is working. So they can't work at the same time. One has to submit. Prayer will work where you have accepted spirit to control. But if one has accepted the body to be in the lead, then the one will pray, but the other one will not see as if that's prayer. And that's why you'll find there's no that collaboration in between the two people.
So you have to pray and act.
You have to pray and
act.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because at one point, man is not just one particular thing. Man is so dimensional in a way that man is soul, man is spirit, and man is body. These three in one, at one point or another, each one of them wants to lead the others. So it depends at this point who is in the lead. Is it the spirit? Is it the soul? Is it the body? Because when one is being led by the body, he will do things, even killing a person is not a problem. Slaughtering you is not a problem. When I look at you, I don't see anything. I don't see you in the image of God. But when the spirit is leading, now I see you in the image of God and likeness. That is it. So that's where you have now to learn the difference.
That's when we ask, na alikuwa anafikiria nini? Kumbe he was being led by the body.
Yeah, sometimes you find somebody has done something, then you ask yourself, ni yeye kweli? You ask such a question. Wanakuambia ni yeye amefanya hivi, alifanya hivi, mke akakata watoto akafanya nini? Unauliza, ni yeye kweli? Because at that time, what was leading?
The body.
The body was leading. At the moment you allow the body to lead, scripturally, we tell you you have allowed the devil to lead.
To
lead. And he will lead you what he feels that this is where you belong. Whatever you will do when he is leading, you will end up regretting. Yes.
And you can't control. If the body wants, the body wants.
If the body wants, unless you allow the spirit to come over the body. If the body wants and you yield to pressure, then it will do it. Then that is it. That's what will happen. Even when it comes to issues of relationships, no woman will just sit down one day and say, I want to get pregnant out of wedlock. Every woman would want a child who has a father and a mother. Two people to raise up a child. But because the body does not eat the normal food we eat, the food is for the stomach, but the body has got its own food. So you will eat the normal food for the stomach, but the body will still demand for its food. And because now a person, for example, if I use an example of a woman's body keeps on changing. It is a cycle. And that's why women have the menstruation periods. Those menstruation periods are the ones that dedicate the body, or the ones that drive the body of a woman. If you ask you ladies, you know very well. You know how you feel when you are about to get your periods. But you know how you feel immediately after periods. You know how you feel you are in the middle of the periods. Then you know how you feel when you are about, or when you are ending, or when you are in a situation. So every time the body is behaving like that, it takes you, or it gives you certain admirations. That's why one day you will say, for example, when you are giving birth, you say, I will never want to see any man in this world. If I see a man ahead of me during the time of giving birth, I will send all of them away. But after some time, we see you with the second pregnancy. So we ask, what happened? Where did you get? It's because that time you said based on the circumstances. The circumstances were dictating you to speak those words. But after you have done that, the body continues to undergo cycles. There's just a time you'll find a woman feels, I need to sit closer to a man. Not doing anything. But you think Mamat will not do anything. Then he does. You get the point?
Yeah.
For example, that lady who says, I like sitting in the company of boys. You see, with her, she's very genuine. She's saying it as it is. But the question is, when she's sitting among the boys, are boys thinking the same?
No.
When boys look at her, they see his food. But the lady is very comfortable in the company. That's why later on, she used to sit with the boys. She was used to the boys, but one day you find her pregnant. Because with her, she liked the company. But with men, they were seeing food. So you see two different things.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Mamati.
Yes.
Thank you so much
for
sharing your words of wisdom. Yani, mpaka tu mimi nimekaa niko zile za I am learning, I am getting something. Kwanza hapo kwa kuinitiate, I think that's a whole topic.
Yeah, that's a whole topic.
And that's amongst couples. That's between couples now.
Exactly.
That's between woman and husband. Because that's a whole topic. That one you represent us men. I think I should take you to those men's conference and talk to those men that are just, they are not initiating anything.
And what now happens when you realize that your husband is not initiating anything, and you start initiating?
Then he starts bragging with my
Yes.
my things that I've initiated.
That marriage has started a journey of breakup.
Yeah, because one is taking off.
Yes.
The other one is still.
Exactly.
But when other men come, this is what they do. Hii ni yangu, hii tulifanya. So you're like, wait.
And you see, women don't know how to keep quiet when they have done something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will go on the rooftop. They will talk about it.
I'll call you, we discuss about that one.
Yes.
I will call you back, we talk about that one.
Yes.
Because I feel we're also raising men. We're also raising boys. I have boys.
Exactly.
So we also need to learn where did that process mi naonanga nikaa tu kukaa, kutulia tu, ametosheka tu. Where does it start? Because you want this man to be chap.
Exactly.
I want you to think. Like, I want you to tell us how are we moving.
Exactly.
You're the driver of this family, so how are you taking us? So
and what happens is that, what happens, for example, the older generation, whatever they plant, the younger generation will harvest it. For example, whatever we are planting now, listen, your children are the ones that will eat those fruits. So if you don't want them to eat fruits that will affect their teeth, then plant good fruits.
True.
That's what has to be understood. Because you will do it after your generation, you will not be there. But these are the people who will come now to eat the fruits of the trees you planted. That's why you see, even now, during our times, our grandfathers' times, things were different. You see how our parents behaved, because the grandfathers, there's a way they were solving the conflicts. They could call the whole village, or there are specific people in the society that would be called whenever there's a conflict. They are called, you are put down, you are asked to apologize. If not apologizing, go back to your people. Come with a sheep or a goat or a cow, because that's a punishment of what you have done. Then from there now, our parents came. They solved their conflicts in a different way. We saw how they did. Now we are doing a different way. We are raising up the boys. We are not teaching them how to solve a conflict. That boy goes into marriage. She marries a wife who comes from a different background. Now when they come together, because of what their parents planted, this one also comes with what their parents planted. Now they come together, they find they are no longer collaborating. And that's why you have issue.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mamati. I feel like there's a lot we can cover together, especially hapo kwa marriage, relationships. And guys, if there's something that you want Mr. Mamati to talk about, please, kwa comments. Or if there's something that you want us to talk about, this is my email at thecelestinedinda@gmail.com. Feel free. Mr. Mamati is welcome anytime.
Thank you.
Ukiweza ukuje tuongee kwanza hizo za hiyo najua mama tutafurahia sana. sana. Yeah, but thank you so much for coming.
I appreciate so much.
Feel welcome anytime, even if you feel like acha leo nikawatembele, karibu sana.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for watching Cele's Reflection. See you next week on Cele's Reflection. Bye-bye.